Most people approach money with the same thoughts, the same fears, and the same habits. They work more hours, chase promotions, look for a raise, and hope that one day things will somehow feel different. But if you think like most people, you will usually get what most people get. Crowded roads rarely lead to extraordinary results. Reverse thinking starts with a simple question. Instead of asking, how can I get rich as fast as possible, you ask, why are so many people staying broke even though they want more money? You study the trap before you try to escape it. You look at the majority and ask, what are they doing that I should probably avoid? Most people treat money emotionally. They spend first and think later. They buy to impress others rather than to improve their own life. Reverse thinking says, do the opposite. Spend intentionally, not impulsively. Use money to buy time, skills, and options, not just more stuff. Most people think in straight lines. They trade time directly for money. 1 hour, 1 wage, 1 task, 1 payment. Reverse thinking asks, how can I create something once that can be used many times? How can I separate my income from the number of hours I work today? When you think like most people, you fear mistakes and failure. You try to look smart, to always be right, to avoid embarrassment. But in the real world, every successful person carries a long history of failures. Reverse thinking says, mistakes are not the opposite of success. They are the raw material of success, if you study them. Instead of asking, how can I never fail? Ask, how can I fail safely and learn quickly? You set limits on risk, not on experimentation. You protect the downside, but you allow the upside to be open. You do not bet the entire house on one idea. You test small, learn fast, then scale what works. Most people wait for permission. They wait for a boss to approve, a teacher to assign, a system to open the door. Reverse thinking asks, what can I start without permission? What skill can I practice today without waiting for a certificate? What small offer can I bring to the world right now, even if it is imperfect? Look at how the crowd reacts to opportunity. When prices of assets go up, everyone becomes excited and wants to buy. When prices fall, everyone panics and wants to sell. Reverse thinking suggests another approach. Be skeptical when everyone is euphoric. Be curious when everyone is terrified. It does not mean you automatically do the opposite. It means you double-check your logic precisely when emotions are loudest. Most people try to add more and more goals, more tasks, more projects. Reverse thinking asks, what can I remove? Which expenses create no real value? Which habits waste my energy? Which commitments keep me busy but not productive? Often your income grows not just when you add new actions, but when you stop the actions that constantly steal focus. When building a career, many people ask, what is the highest salary I can get right now? Reverse thinking asks, what skills will give me the most options in the future, even if they do not pay the most today? You are willing to temporarily earn less if it allows you to learn more. You optimize for growth, not just income. The average person chases prestige. They want a big title, a fancy company name, something that looks impressive on social media. Reverse thinking looks for leverage instead. It asks, where can my effort produce the largest impact? Sometimes that is in a small company, a side project, or a boring niche where few people are paying attention. Most people treat problems as things to avoid. They say my life would be great if there were no problems. Reverse thinking says, money flows to people who solve problems. The bigger and more painful the problem, the more value someone is willing to exchange for a solution. So instead of running away from problems, you start hunting for them. Ask yourself what annoys people every day. What wastes their time? What makes them feel confused, frustrated, or overwhelmed? Can you create a product, a service, or even a piece of content that makes that pain smaller? If your answer is yes, then you are no longer just a consumer. You are part of the solution. Most people ask, what can this give me? Reverse thinking asks, what can I give this? When you enter a company, a team, or a collaboration, asking how can I create more value here than I take out, you build a reputation that spreads quietly. Opportunities often appear through people who trust you, and people trust those who consistently give more than they promise. There is also reverse thinking about risk. Many people think a stable job is safe and starting a business or freelancing is dangerous. But if your whole life depends on a single employer, that is also risk. Reverse thinking is not about hating jobs. It is about seeing invisible risk. Depending on only one source of income, whether that is a job, a client, or a platform, can be dangerous. So you slowly create second and third streams, not because you are greedy, but because you are realistic. Most people compare themselves to others in the same age, same city, same social media feed. Reverse thinking shifts the comparison. You ask, am I better than my past self? Do I understand money, value, and skills more clearly than last year? Have I become more reliable, more disciplined, more knowledgeable? When you compete mainly with your older version, you win much more often. The crowd wants quick answers. They love three-step formulas, magic methods, secret hacks. Reverse thinking says, long-lasting wealth rarely comes from secrets. It comes from obvious principles applied with boring consistency. Spend less than you earn. Increase your ability to create value. Protect your downside. Invest in assets instead of only consumption. Repeat for years. Most people see boredom as an enemy. They constantly seek entertainment and novelty. Reverse thinking sees boredom as a superpower. If you can calmly repeat useful actions even when they feel dull, you are already ahead of most people. Studying 1 hour a day is boring. Posting content daily is boring. Practicing a skill every evening is boring. But the results after 3 years are anything but boring. There is also reverse thinking about identity. Many people say, I am not good with money, I am not an entrepreneur, I am just average. They use identity as a cage. Reverse thinking uses identity as a tool. You say, I am becoming someone who understands money. I am becoming someone who keeps promises to myself. I am becoming someone who can create value online and offline. The new identity may feel fake at first, but your actions will grow into it. Instead of asking, how can I make more per hour, ask, how can I make this hour more valuable? What can I learn or build today that will still help me 5 years from now? A skill, a deep article, a useful video, a system, a relationship. Reverse thinking moves your attention from temporary dopamine to long-term leverage. Most people fear looking stupid. They do not ask questions. They pretend to understand. Reverse thinking accepts looking foolish for a while if that is the price of understanding. You ask the basic questions everyone else is secretly confused about. You admit when you do not know and you learn faster because of it. Another inversion. When you feel envy, the normal reaction is to complain or to secretly hate the person who has what you want. Reverse thinking asks what skill or behavior creates that result and how can I learn it piece by piece. Envy turns from poison into a map. You stop wishing and start studying. In daily life, most people worry about what they cannot control. The economy, the market, the algorithm, the news. Reverse thinking redirects that energy. You ask, what can I control today? My effort, my learning, my honesty, my health, my consistency. The more you focus on these, the less fragile you become when the outside world changes. Even the way you define rich can be inverted. Most people think rich means big house, expensive car, luxury brands. Reverse thinking defines rich as having enough money and skills to control your time, to say no to what feels wrong, and to help people you care about without destroying your own stability. Under this definition, many apparent rich people are actually poor in freedom. Reverse thinking does not mean you automatically do the opposite of everyone else. It means you question default assumptions. You slow down when people are speeding up without thinking. You look for the hidden cost when everyone only talks about benefits. You search for the boring work hidden behind exciting success stories. In the end, the purpose of reverse thinking is not to be special for the sake of being special. It is to escape automatic behavior and make conscious decisions about money and life. You stop acting on fear and imitation. You start acting on understanding and intention. If you want to break through in making money, do not only ask what should I do, also ask what is everyone else doing that clearly does not work, and how can I avoid that path? Invert the problem. Look at it from the back, from the side, from above. The answers you find may not be dramatic, but they will usually be much closer to the truth. And remember this: thinking differently is only the first step. Reverse thinking without action is just daydreaming. But reverse thinking combined with small, consistent steps can transform not only your bank account, but the way you see opportunity in every part of your life.